Hello friends, welcome to another exciting and educating episode of STEM Talks with Leaders. I am your host Bhuvan Verma. Simulations help humans discover, invent and realize, from theater to films to educational videos like the one you're watching now. Technology has made it all possible, and now any idea can be imagined, crafted and created into a finished product. Realizing continuum of education as prescribed by National Education Policy, STEM education is becoming a tool to create with robotics, computing, even composition of artistic forms of expression. At Robo Siksha Kendra, built across India with the help of CSR partners, we engage with students to think with confidence and build with confidence. To extend this horizon of knowledge quickly, we produce STEM Talks with Leaders. STEM Talks with Leaders connects our students to eminent leaders from the STEM world. Listening to the powerful words of leaders inspires and uplifts us and motivates us towards pursuing STEM careers. Today we have with us a girl pursuing STEM, a gem, Deepa Menon, Senior Vice President, Corporate Communication and CSR at PVR Cinemas Limited, and the founder of PVR Nest, a CSR initiative of PVR Limited, which partners with local communities and builds its capacities to mitigate issues and challenges that communities face. Hello, Deepa. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Bhuvan. Thank you so much. I am great and I'm happy to be part of this chat with you. Looking forward to know this entire interview along with you. Thank you.
Hooray! Okay, diving straight into our students' questions. Our students are most curious to know, Deepa, why are industry leaders so interested in STEM and STEAM education?
Well, I believe that the industry leaders are interested in the STEM education because the beauty about science and technology is that it is never stagnant, and certain theories which exist are contradicted by others. Since there are contradictions, there's always a scope to innovate and opportunities to come up with ways to add value to the lives of people in the community by solving their problems.
And, Deepa, you mentioned adding value. Can you tell our students how is CSR helping to add value, accelerate access to STEM education and the system strengthening effort?
Absolutely. I think CSR is taking a very, very big role and is instrumental in developing opportunities for the young minds to implement the STEM skills which they have acquired in the real life situations. For example, PVR Nest, which is dedicated to build capabilities of socially disadvantaged community, especially the students, actually can be invited to our programs. Students can be invited to our programs to provide digital literacy to the people, whether that would mean teaching people how to operate a computer or how probably even to make and put together one. So it's very important that such integration with CSR is taking the role with people, especially the social and community socially disadvantaged, and getting them familiarized with the STEM concept and generating an organic curiosity to learn, and which could lead into more participation. And hence the system gets strengthened in that way. And I think CSR would really, really play a very important role in STEM education and system strengthening.
Deepa, you are known to us and our student constituents as someone who undertakes inclusive programs. Just like you mentioned, you bring people within the program, the beneficiaries become part of the program. Can you tell our students how does STEM education help students to learn entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. I think STEM education is mostly implemented in the school curriculum at a very, very early stage. And now, considering the new national education policy, which got implemented 2020, I think this entire program of student getting connected with STEM education and developing an early age mindset to be an entrepreneur is going to really garner the adequate vocational skills required by a lot of Indian students who never had that part of project development in their early stage of their education. And this is really going to collaborate, this entire new education policy and the way this curriculum of STEM education in the early ages of the student life is going to collaborate with students from different grades. And what will happen is that you will be able to evaluate skills of each other and select team members who can perform critical thinking and plan the most feasible ideas within their curriculum restriction and still implement those ideas so that they help them realize their entrepreneurial capabilities. And I think that is what we all should look forward with the children, the capabilities to deliver entrepreneurship over the period.
Absolutely. Students, I hope you are taking notes, very valuable mentions here, especially with regards to the early age mindset, Deepa, that is most important and helps us learn, keeps us young, keeps us curious. Can you tell us one subject, topic, or activity that you have done through self-learning?
This has been something which I have experienced over the years, and it has become really clear over the period as I have been aging with experience. I believe it's very, very simple. If we can all believe that the best lesson which we've all taught ourselves, and especially myself, is the lesson to be focused. It's just helped me to be a better leader, to be a more responsible leader. And because responsibility is also overwhelming to most of us, so it's always better that how do you stay focused? And focus has helped me to cut all the noise out and to be most productive version of myself. And I do recommend every student to have the self learning to stay focused.
Absolutely. So students, as Deepa says, focus is impervious to failures. Focus is something greater than what you have immediately at hand. Focus is something that helps you persevere. So eloquently put, Deepa, thank you so much. Okay, hopping on to my next question. Can you name one STEM challenge that students will have to solve for in the future?
Absolutely. I think, almost every student, everyone in this world has seen the most unprecedented time, not the environmental unprecedented time that much as the health pandemic related unprecedented time. I think we are in a time where everything is connected. I think climate change is a very, very biggest challenge, which we all have to be working towards a STEM challenge, because it's necessary for each and every student to be conscious about it, to be conscious about their future, which is going to be part of their lives, so that they can start looking at STEM innovations and try and work on ground activation, on ground awareness, working with tools to combat it. I think climate change is one challenge with STEM challenge for students to solve the future problems.
Hooray, students. So, since you are going into summer holidays and extreme weather is giving you respite, sitting at home, do explore more about climate change. And as Deepa said, it is going to be one of the areas where a lot of innovations will be required. Okay, hopping on to next question. My students are very curious to know, Deepa, how does STEM education in schools help in social integration?
The very important part is the vocational skills which the students acquire through the STEM education. It's very, very critical that these vocational skills actually, help you express, help you share about what you know, and also help you to be a better communicator. And when you become a better communicator, then you also, collaborate more well and understand, the entire complexity of a collaboration, because social integration is about understanding more and knowing more. And it's good to basically, a STEM gives clearly the skills, and skills further give you further more skills to make sure that you enhance your skills and be participative to those skills. And these skills finally help them to be more receptive, students to be more receptive to the grievances of people, and hence make them open and extend their skills to uplift, socially disadvantaged communities.
Deepa, very meaningful response. And you also mentioned grievances. Our students, they work in teams and sometimes they, battle it out amongst themselves also to come up with ideas. Can you illuminate our students by telling us what is that one must attribute of a team player?
I think the must attribute of a team player should be openness to consume everyone's ideas, and then to make sure that we are also taking a practical decision in implementing it as a team. People and lots of students and lots of players I've seen get carried away in their attempts to highlight their own efforts. But a good team player will always think through collectively and the well being of a group. And we must really, really promote those team players who understand this and start developing these understanding in every student so that they can actually be a part of this bigger program of playing a very good team player role.
Absolutely. Deepa, in all the social interventions you do, you have personified STEAM education in one way or the other, impact or implementation. Can you tell us, amongst the vast subjects that you traverse, which is your favorite STEAM subject and why?
Okay, Bhuvan, I must really confess, I'm a mathematics honors. I managed to complete 80 odd papers from the Delhi University. I did excel in maths in grade 12, and I was very, very carried away with maths as one of my favorite esteemed subject. Because day in and day out, while I'm working even on a lot of CSR projects or anything to do with the company, I deal with figures, and maths has become part of my element. At that time, it was very tough to do what I was getting into. But I'm glad that because I was consistent with this favorite subject, it kept me sharper, it kept me focused, it kept me calculative as a leader. And I always need to go back to this subject some or other way in my daily life. So I am really in gratitude to a very basic decision I took that I am excelling in mathematics, so why not pursue it and make a bigger part of my college life? And I'm glad I did that. In hindsight, I think it just worked very well.
Wow, wow. So all students who are pursuing mathematics and even those who are not pursuing mathematics, mathematics is not a singularity in itself. It has geometry, it has algebra and so many flavors, as you progress through the years. And as Deepa said, you can even pursue it in higher studies. So do pay attention to your maths when you are doing STEAM subjects. Fantastic. Thank you, Deepa. Okay, moving on to my next question. My students are very eager to learn from you. How does STEM education help them learn about leadership?
So STEM education can act as a foundation for the scientific temper and the emotional intelligence for the students. And good leaders among the students will be the ones who understand how to use these talents of others in the best way possible to get a project done, and will be the ones who have empathy. And we require empathetic leadership, empathy in for the team members, help resolve problems as we are able to understand issues which are faced by them, and it strengthens the relationship. I think it's certainly going to be acting as a foundation, as I started off, for scientific temper and emotional intelligence.
Absolutely. So, students, any conversation with two viewpoints is actually two trains converging at a common station. These are two sides, and as Deepa said, empathy, listening to the same point of view in different words always helps you gain better. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Deepa. This is such meaningful insights you are sharing with my students. Okay, moving to my next question. My students, they do a lot of creative things, but not everything works out. Can you guide them on how to deal with failure and rejection?
Absolutely. I think it's a very, very bigger part. Failure and rejections are really big, big part of our lives. And for the student life, it's a very important part. I think it should not be coined negatively, failure or rejection. I think we should really look into some other vocab so that children really start appreciating words like failure and rejection should be part of their curriculum. And my advice for any young student who's aspiring to be an entrepreneur in STEM industry or any venture they desire is for them is to adapt to rejections so that they're part of their life, so that they're part of their work life to redesign their perspective towards whatever they are into. Every day is an opportunity for us to be better and to learn from others' mistake. And it is necessary for us to surround ourselves with people who build our morale, yet they are able to be transparent enough to call out the loopholes in our ideas.
Absolutely. So students building morale and honesty are two critical ingredients of how to deal with failure and rejection. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, moving on to my last question. My students are very curious to know. They know you read a lot and they are getting into holidays now. They are curious to know which book are you reading these days?
Oh, I really recommend this very nice, light, and inspiring book, which I am right now. I've just picked up. Recently, the book has really moved me because it's a powerful book called The Courage to be Disliked by Kishimi and Koga. And this book makes you realize that you're never too weak or never too old to be what you want to be. And we all have the power to change our life and of others. I really recommend all the students to pick up this very light book during their vacation time and find inspirations for themselves.
Absolutely. Courage to be disliked. Students, I hope you are taking notes. Thank you, Deepa, for such energetic conversation. My students, daughters across Robo Siksha Kendra will aspire to emulate your values in the creative pursuits they undertake using the STEM way of thinking. Today, we learned about various challenges one can face in the world of STEM and how they can overcome these with relentless perseverance, effort, and patience. With technology taking over in such exponential rate, we have ample opportunities at our fingertips to learn new skills and develop them into our strengths. It is really the need of the hour to implement STEM education across schools and education centers throughout the country. The ideas pursued in STEM labs and Robo Siksha Kendra are innovative, dynamic, and induces self-motivation among students and enthusiasts. The STEM talk with leaders is a part of this idea, and it is with this foundation and inspiration through which individuals turn societies into advancement. We thank our students for sharing this video with their parents and peers. Until next time, namaste.